Hello, this is the second part of the 3ds Max course, and today we will talk about some new objects. The last session we talked about the box, cone, and some general information about the 3ds Max. Today I will talk about the another objects in standard primitives, and then some more important tools in 3ds Max. So let me start with sphere and geosphere. Uh, at first, I create the sphere by click and drag, like the box and cone, as you remember. And this is so easy to doing this. And you have a parameters of this. The first one is radius. You can increase and decrease the amount of the radius of the sphere. I use 15 to my radius. And also the second parameter is the segments. Every object have a minimum number of segments, and this minimum for the sphere is 4, but you don't have a limit for maximize the number of segments, and but be careful about the number of segments because it can be hard to work if your segments number will be increased in your 3ds Max files. So be careful about the number of segments, and in creating the game objects you should, or better to say, you must use the minimum number of segments, and this is so important because in game uh, the our in the game you should provide the minimum segments. So the minimum segments in cylinder is 4, as you can see in my viewport, and you can increase the number of segments by clicking here like this. And I think this 30 is normal and good for creating a sphere segments. The another things in here parameters is smooth, and as you can see, if you close the smooth, unclick the smooth in parameters of the sphere, your object will show like this. And it depends on you and your aim of the creating these objects that you want to shown like this or smoother. Uh, so the another options we have in the creating a sphere is hemisphere. You can the hemisphere number is between 0 and 1, and it can't be 2 or -2, or just you can you have you should provide a number between 0 and 1. So 0 is completely a sphere, and 1 is nothing. So the number between 0 and 1 defines your spheres to be hemisphere or completely a sphere, like this. The another options is slice. When you click the slice on, you can slice your sphere from slice from maybe 90 to 0 or 316. It's the same, or 19 to 118 will be like this. So you can provide your desired object by slice the sphere. Okay. The next sphere we have here, this is the geosphere. Is this mostly same as the sphere, just the location of the segments is different, as you can see in the front, or I mean wireframe viewport. you can adjust the segments locations, or it's better that to say the connection of the segments is different from the sphere, just like this. And you have the segments, uh, the minimum segments is 1 here, and you can increase as you want. And you have the radius, and this is the tetra. I mean, the location of the segments will be changed if you do this. And like the another one, you have a hemisphere based to pivot. We will talk about the pivot and what's the meaning of the pivot in the future, but just like this, and so easy for doing this. Okay. The next object I will talk about is the cylinder. Like the another objects, you should click and drag to define the radius of the base part, I mean our base circle. Then you can define the height of the cylinder. As the another objects, you have some parameters here: radius, height segments. As you can see here, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments, height segment here, and cap segments. As you can see in the top, we just have a one segments, these segments in the cap, but you can create a new segments here. But as I said, be careful about the number of segments in the modeling, just like this. And for smoothing the cylinder, you have just be careful about the side segments. It can be smaller than some numbers, because that it isn't the cylinder anymore. The minimum number is a 3, as you can see. This is a pyramid anymore. This isn't a cylinder. So you can increase the number of the sides: 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, as you can see. And if you unclick the smooth part, you will see like this. And mostly we use this in our mask design, maybe, and it depends on you. And I think it's 18 is a normal, with clicking the smooth is the best way for creating the cylinder. The another parameters is slice. The slice part is so close to the sphere, as you can see from here to maybe from 19 to 118. It's suitable to understanding. So just like this, you can slice your cylinder. Okay, the next objects we will create, that is tube. So for creating the tube, you should creating the another objects, you should click and drag for providing the radius 1. Okay, because in tube we have a 2 radius. You should click and drag for providing the radius 1 number, then the another radius 2 amount, then click again and define the heights of the tube. Let me do it again. Click and drag for defining the radius 1, then release the click and define the amount of the radius 2, then click again for defining the heights. It is so easy like this. So like that cylinder, you have a height segment, cap segment, and side segments. As you can see here, we can increase the cap segments, height segments, as you can see in my front view and left view. And just like this. Also, we have We have smooth for this and slice for like the cylinder and sphere for this also. It's depend on object that you want to create like this, or you can provide an animation of the increasing the slice part also. Okay. And another tool I have to say to you, when we create, this is a panel for create. We have a create panel here, and in geometry we are in the standard primitives. We will provide, maybe we will create a tube, but after clicking on or after deselecting this part, as you can see here, if you select this, you have this on the object. If you unselect your objects or select your object, you haven't any parameters in the right side of your window, because you are in the create part of your software. And if you uh, change the parameters of the object that you have created, you should go to the modify uh, panel for doing this. Then if you don't have that here in the right part, you should go to the modify part and then uh, change the number of the parameters of the object that you have created. Okay, the another object we will create together is the Taurus. The Taurus is the so like the tube, but with one most important difference, and is that the section of the Taurus is a circle and isn't a rectangle like the normal extrude like the pyramid, for example, like this. And most like the tube, you should select Taurus, click and drag for defining the radius 1, then defining the radius 2, and just it. Okay, the parameters of the Taurus is a little different from the tube and cylinder and the other objects. For example, we have a radius 1 and radius 2 in tube also, but we have a rotation also here. As you can see in my 2D viewports, you can understand what's the meaning of the rotation. We have a rotation parameters here, and twist, like this twist option we have, as you can see here. Sometimes you want to twist your clothes after washing them, and the number of segments and size that we have it in all of the others. And for these objects, we have a smooth in 4 types. Smooth for all, because we have a circle sections in 3 part of this, in the heights, in the radius 1, in the radius 2. Also, we can create the sides smoother, or then the other parts couldn't be smooth. None of them uh, just segments, or all of them. Maybe mostly we use all for providing a smooth. And the another parameters is slice, and you now know what's the meaning of slice, from 0 to slice to anywhere that you want. Okay, the next object is pyramid. Okay, we just others, we click and drag to define the widths and depths of the pyramids, then define the heights of that. And you can see that there are widths, depths, and heights of the pyramids, and the segments of that segments of the widths, depths, and heights that you can see in 2D parts. I can increase the number of the width segments, as you can see in my front and top view, and depth segments in the another my left and top view, and height segments just like that. Okay, this is so easy objects to create. The another object is Teapot. It isn't so important for creating a teapot, but teapot is existing from the first Max was published, and it is more important part in checking our materials, because it has a many smooth part and twisted part, and this is a and you can understand your UV power. I will talk about the UV and material and texturing, but just mostly we use the teapot in that if we want to check our materials. I didn't use this teapot in my renders anymore, but I will say to you. Okay, you have a radius here and the number of segments, and as you know, by increasing the number of segments, that the object will be smoother, as you can see, like this. We have one segment, the minimum part, and with 40 segments, our object is so smooth. And you have the teapot parts. You can body, handle, and light, just like this. And another objects in standard primitive, and the last object and most important is plan. Plan isn't 3D object, but it is here because it's so useful, and this is so important part in rendering, and I will use it many time in my rendering or modeling. You have this lengths, like the others. You can click and drag for defining the lengths and the widths. And it's so close to box, but box have a heights also, but we didn't have a heights in plan, just lengths and widths. And you can increase the number of the segments in widths and lengths. But the another important things in defining the scale in plan. Scale means you can create a small plan in viewport, but you can increase the number of scales, and you will see the size of the plan bigger or smaller in the viewport. Maybe, for example, I provide 5 in scale of my plan, then I will see that this plan in render 5 times bigger than my viewport, and this is the important part of the plan creating. Okay, most of the things is easy, and you can watch the video more and more, but please don't forget to doing your exercise, and everything I will do here, maybe you will do many times for creating for understanding the meaning of the objects or the parameters of the objects, but that will be easy part of your modeling in the future, I promise that. Okay, let me provide some objects in my viewport: sphere, a box here, geosphere, cylinder here, Taurus here, and pyramid here. Okay, I'm going to talk about the 8 tools for controlling your viewports that you can see them in the right and down part of your 3ds Max software here. Uh, the first one is zoom, that it has also a hotkey. The hotkey of this is Alt Z. Okay, the zoom, you can select this and you zoom in every viewport that you have selected. Uh, what the meaning of the selected viewport? When you are in this viewport, the active viewport is shown with the yellow rectangle, as you can see in my viewport. So you can select the zoom and then zoom out, zoom in and zoom out in the selecting viewports, or also like this in this viewport. You're selecting viewports, or this one. So this part also have a hotkey, as I said, Alt Z. When I press Alt Z, that will be activate. So the another one is zoom all. This one is zoom all. You can see what's the difference of the zoom and zoom all. As you see in zoom all, the zoom in or zoom out will happen in all 4 viewports, but in the normal zoom you can zoom in and zoom out just in the selected active viewports. Okay, the next one is zoom extend. Let me provide a smaller because I'm talking about this, and there is there is software that I recorded my videos for this, and I can click this because the video will be stopped. Because of that, I smaller my 3ds Max viewport. So the next one is zoom extend. So in zoom extend, the selecting like this, the activate viewports, please look at the activate viewports. When I press this zoom extend, my selecting viewports zoom until I can see all of the objects that are in my viewports. Also we have a zoom extend all, the another tools. When I press this, I do it for all viewports, and the program zoom my viewports until I can see all of the objects are in my viewports in my scene. Okay, the next one is maximize the viewport. The maximize viewport, I don't remember I said that or no. You can there is a hotkey of that, and we can do it by Alt W, and we can do it again for coming back to the for view by also pressing the Alt W, or we can press here for doing this. The another things and important things is orbit. Orbit, when you press the orbit, you can see the yellow rectangle, yellow circle here, and when you are inside of this circle, you can orbit your scene by clicking to the left, pressing left click and dragging. It is so easy. Or also it has a hotkey for doing this by pressing Alt and pressing the scroll of the mouse. Then you can do it by rotating your mouse. So the hotkey is Alt, pressing the scroll of the mouse, then rotating your mouse or moving your mouse, or by pressing this button here. The another uh, the another things is pan view. You can select the pan here, and the shape of your mouse will be changed, as you can see. Then you can pan your view. You can rotate your views, just the views will be pan, as you can see here. uh, Also, this is another way for doing this, and that is just we can do it by pressing the scroll of the mouse and moving my mouse just like this. And the last things for in here is field of view. We will talk completely in camera settings, but most of the teachers said that this is work like a zoom, but isn't true, because this part have changed the point of view, and we don't use this for zoom or zooming, because don't press this button nowadays. And I will talk about the field of view, or FOV, that if you work with camera before, you can understand completely the meaning of FOV, but I will talk about that in camera parts. Okay, uh, let me talk about the some important, or it is better, their most important part of the 3ds Max for changing the location of the objects. Okay, I press Alt W for increasing or it is maximize my viewport by pressing Alt W, and I will create a box, normal box. Okay, here. But you, after creating a box, you decided to change the location of the box. Okay, then let me create another box here and another box here. Okay, nice. We have some tools here. This one for select objects. This is active now, and I can select my objects. As you can see, this is select objects. After you understand this, you can select your objects and go to modifier list and change your parameters. But it isn't my subject for talking about. We have the another 3 tools here: select and move, rotate, select and rotate, select and scale. This is most useful tools in 3ds Max. Okay, we have select and move. By clicking this will be activate, and I can select also, but the difference between with just select object or and this, because by selecting the select and move tools, you have the some pivots here, and you can change the position or location of your objects. But there is a 3 way for changing the or moving your objects in X, Y, or Z. If you come on the X, the yellow parts will be changed. I mean, this is a red. If I change just in X parts, just X will be changed to yellow, and then I can change my position of the box in this. Okay, then I can come to Y and just in this, and then if the Y is yellow, just Y is yellow, I can change the position of my box in X part. Also, I can't in Z parts, and when I come to the Z, I can change the on just in Z parts, and I can't do it in for my X or Y or Y. But I can select two of them in the same time. As you can see here, both of them will be changed to yellow color, or three of them together by coming here, and the rectangle in the center of that will be changed to yellow. And then I can change the positions to anywhere that I want. Also, the another tool is rotate tool. I can select it and rotate my objects. The rotate will be happen around the X, Y or Z, but the location of the this pivot is defined like let me come back here. The location of the pivot is here, and also we can uh, change it in the future, and I will talk about that also. You can change the location of the pivot from here, but we shouldn't use now, and we will do it in the future. You can change around the Z, rotate around the Z. You can rotate around the X, or you can rotate around the Y, like this. And another useful tool is scale. When you press it, you see something like this. You can scale just in Y part, Y part, or in X part, or in Z part, and like the another two tools, you can do it for all parts in same times, or two parts in same time. But in when do you scaling your objects, be careful, because if you have a material on this can be changed, or in most of the uh, our modeling, the scaling in one part can be change our model and deform it. So be careful of about that. So the another important things about these three useful tools is you can define an exact number for changing the or rotating or scaling your objects by pressing right click on each of that. I can press right click on select and move, and I have this window. This window will be opened. Then the location or the position of the absolute position of my object is here, and I can change the position of my object from here and here. What's the difference of the absolute and offset part? Absolute part is the position of my objects absolutely is here, 48 in X, minus 18 in Y, and 6 in Z. Then I can just increase one or maybe 10. The absolute part will be 58 after pressing the enter, but if I press maybe 20, completely coming back to the 20. Okay, and I can do it for X, Y or Z. So let me repeat again. I can writing the number of the changing and the amount of the change that I want to will happen here in offset. Maybe I want to my objects go to the X part just 10 number. I write 10 here, or in absolute part, if I want to my object's x position be in the 15, I can write 15 here, or 50, I mean 50, I'm sorry about that, 50 here, or 20 here. I mean 50 here, it's the same of writing 20 here. Okay, this window will be opened if I press select and rotate. Here, as you can see here, you can change the x position by writing here also, and also for scale 2. And I think this is enough for this session, and be happy every time, and I hope you be one of the best 3ds Max modeler and renderer in the future, and have a good time.